Welcome to the Human Frame podcast with me, Łucja, where I talk to incredible people that I've met along different industries to talk about art as a form of activism. Today I'm joined with singer-songwriter Taz. Taz is an up-and-coming British Caribbean singer-songwriter bringing a fresh approach to R&B and neo-soul. Known for her distinctive voice and candid lyricism, her music leans into introspection whilst remaining grounded and relatable. Her work has received support from BBC Radio 1 and BBC Radio 1 Extra, including an invitation to perform a BBC Introducing Live Lounge. She has also been featured on key Spotify playlists, with her single Grateful earning a top 3 spot on the Blues Project playlist and recognition as new underground music too good to gatekeep. Taz has performed at venues including BBC Studios, House of Cocoa, The Ned and the Arlo Hotel in New York with So Far Sounds. As well as selling out her headline shows in London, she was also a finalist in the Cross the Tracks Emerging Artists Competition 2025.
Influenced by artists such as Mariah Carey, Lauryn Hill and Alicia Keys, her sound draws from neo-soul, jazz, pop and R&B without feeling deteriorative. As an independent artist, she continues to shape a style that reflects her identity, with new music making the start of a confident new phase. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you, Taz.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Appreciate you calling me up.
Let's start at the beginning. So when do you remember singing being something more than you just enjoyed and something that you wanted to take up as a career?
That's a really good question. I think I knew that I wanted singing to be more than a hobby when I was about 15 or 16. However, I started off actually in musical theatre, so I thought that was the route that I wanted to go down. And so I remember when the time came for me to choose which sixth form I wanted to go to, I was actually looking at places like Arts Ed and, kind of like those musical theatre centric schools rather than original and like independent artistry, songwriting courses. So I guess that's when I kind of knew, but I was very scared to take the leap. I come from a very sort of like traditional background, traditional area where everyone follows the same trajectory of you go to school, you go to sixth form, you go to uni, you get a job. And so I think I kind of like accidentally fell into that path and lost like sight of where I wanted to be with my music and stuff. But then that sort of like reappeared back in my life around the time like I was at uni, I think, and then I started pursuing it.
Did you ever do like singing when you were younger as well?
Yeah, so I always used to love singing, and I remember when I was in year 4 or something, every year my school put on a summer showcase for musicians in the school, and I remember asking to sing, and then one of the teachers who saw me sing at the showcase immediately went to my mum and was like, you need to put her in singing lessons, like she's got some really good potential, and gave her the contact details of a lady that I then had singing lessons with for, I want to say about 6 years, did all of my grades with her. And again, it was very musical theatre centric, but I'd say that's like when I started singing properly and getting lessons was around the age of like 10 or 11.
And what kind of things like drew you to it? Like what songs were you drawn to from the beginning? Or was it like a mix of things?
Yeah, that's a really good question actually. Funnily enough, the first artist that I remember absolutely loving was JoJo. I don't know if you remember her song Get Out. Yeah, but that came out when I was about like 4 or 5, I remember. And I used to just like sit and sing. And I think that is where I learned how to riff, because I used to just sit and listen to her and like practice her riffs that she did. And JoJo was like the first artist I bought for myself. Like I had a little like money bank, and I think the album back then albums cost like £6 or £7. So I remember going into my piggy bank and like getting the change out and going with my mum to buy it in the store. So yeah, I'd say she was my earliest influence, and then from there it kind of went on to like Corinne Bailey Rae and like Amy Winehouse and various artists.
Yeah, it's funny because when we were growing up, like I was so excited to get new albums and physically have albums. I guess like,
Yeah.
you don't do that as much nowadays. It's all digital. So what did music give you early on that maybe other things didn't?
Music, I think it was like my safe space. It was like my domain where I felt really comfortable and like confident and happy. I think especially when I started to take singing lessons, I would have it after school once a week. That's like where I started. And I didn't particularly love secondary school. But then I remember like really looking forward to that like 1 hour a week where I could just go and like be myself and like learn how to do this thing that I really wanted to do. And I think what was really telling was I actually started off taking piano lessons when I was about 8 or 9. I hated it. And I'd done it for, I think, over 1.5 years. And my mum said to my piano teacher, what's going on? Like, is she going to be able to do her grade 1 soon? Like, we've been doing this for 1.5 years. And my piano teacher was like, no, she's not ready. And I remember I never used to want to practice. The lessons, like, were during my lunch hour at school when I wanted to be, like, playing in the playground. And I remember so distinctly this moment when it was, like, the place the piano lessons took place was in this, like, mobile classroom facing the playground. And I remember once I was supposed to be in lesson with my teacher, but I was like running around playing Yellow Pages. I remember she stepped out of the room and just pointed and glared at me like, come in here. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. But then on the contrary, the moment I started seeing lessons, like I wanted to go there. I wanted to be there more than twice a week. And like, I went straight from not having done grades at all to my first exam being grade 3 in like the space of a year. Like you could just tell the difference between my drive and love for that particular thing.
But definitely, it's funny. I remember when I had piano lessons as well, and it like 20 minutes. I hated them as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like it was like a come on, next one.
Yeah, literally.
Rather than, but I feel like singing, you know, it's more individual because it's your instrument in a sense, isn't it? And it's something that you're cultivating within you. I mean, some people obviously don't like it, but when you do, it's because I guess you get a really strong connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Your voice feels very personal and expressive whenever you sing. I mean, I love listening to Boomerang. It's one of my favourite songs that you've got.
Oh, thank you.
How would you describe your relationship with your own voice, especially like as you grew up as well?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. I think across the years, I've learned how, particularly in independent artistry, I've learned where I want my voice to sit. I've tried to increase my vocal range so that, you know, I can go, if I want to express something like deep and sad and dark, I can like kind of reach that lower space in my voice. Whereas if I'm expressing maybe not even something happy, but like the upset, the lamenting, the pain, like you can also like express it using like higher and softer spaces of your voice. I think I've really enjoyed exploring how you can use your voice to portray an emotion and like help tell the story of a song as well. I think Adele's a really good example where her voice is so like deep and strong and like raw, and when she's like, you can just tell like the point on the song where she's feeling a lot of pain, and then you also feel that pain as well. I don't know if anyone else feels that, but I definitely can. So use her as an inspiration for that kind of understanding how to use your different vocal forms to like express emotion.
And how do you like channel that, or how do you allow that to come through?
It's definitely a lot of practice, and I love when I'm in the studio and you can do as many takes as you like. It will be one particular line where you're sitting there and you're like wanting to exactly emulate one particular feeling, and it could literally just be the intonation of one word in that line, and you're like, no, I need to change it. It needs to be softer here or a little bit more airy. So yeah, I would say it's just a lot of practice and a lot of just becoming accustomed to your voice and exploring what it can and can't do.
Does it get frustrating if you do something that you can't do, or does it make you want to like go deeper into being like, I need to get this done?
Yeah, for sure. It can definitely be frustrating But the exciting thing is, like, you can just stretch yourself however much you want to stretch yourself. And because I like manage myself, I'm an independent artist, I can just go at the pace that I want to go at. And if something in particular isn't working, then I'll go away and try it again, and then come back in a couple of weeks' time and do it. I'm not like on a sort of time pressured scale, or I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I think like having self-love and just like not beating yourself up is really important, especially just in this career in general.
Definitely. And has your sound evolved alongside as you kind of evolved yourself throughout the years?
Definitely. I think the thing about the music industry today is professionals and people with experience will always say you need to have your niche, you need to carve out exactly what your visual and sonic identity is so that you can stick out among all of the artists who are also amazing, and make people want to listen to your music and listen to you over everyone else. And so like I've done a lot of research around it, and I think it's really common the first year that you're sort of releasing music, you're understanding exactly what you want your niche to be. So you're releasing different styles, if you like. So my first year I released a kind of relaxed pop ballad, that fun soul jazz ballad. Boomerang is a little bit more grungy. Like I've just released a range of different songs, and then from there I've been able to like carve down exactly what I want my sound to be. And now I think specifically with this upcoming bank of music that I've got, I've figured out exactly what space I want to be in, and that will evolve as well, of course, but it's like starting from this vast array of choice in terms of style, in terms of like sonically, visually, whatever, and then carving it down until you get to like a really key spot. So,
and how do you like figure out how, like, you know, how to create your niche, let's say, because like you said, there's so many different artists, whether like they're already big and also, so I mean, Ray, for example, is independent now, isn't she? But but also like new and up and coming artists and artists that are in the middle. How do you differentiate between that?
Yeah, I think it to be honest, it is really difficult. But I think everyone is unique and everyone is different and everyone has different sort of learned experiences. So I think it's really hard, but what I had to do is just do like a deep dive on my life and pinpoint the things that make me me. So what influenced the way that I talk, the way that I kind of conduct myself in public spaces, my relationships, my family, my friendships, all of these things that help define who I am. How can I portray that in music? And then how can I also maybe draw an audience in who can align with like what I've been through, what I've done? Because I think the most obvious example is love. Like, you know, everyone goes through heartbreak, and artists will maybe draw on a particular situation that happened, and then people will be able to be like, listen to it and think, oh, actually I can relate to that, I'm going to listen to this artist, they're really good. So I would say that is where I start. It's like the content of my music. And then visually, I would say I just started really thinking about who I loved watching when I was young. And that was sort of like Destiny's Child, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, J-Lo. I love that like noughties era of fashion with like the headbands and like the crop tops and the low-rise jeans. And I think it's like looking back to those inspirations and then thinking, okay, well, how can I just add something of my own to that? Because I would say that's how I've done it so far.
It's really interesting to see, because obviously, like you said, everyone's so unique and different, but then you also have to marry your look with how you sound, and sometimes those two can conflict and not work together, but I think that makes it cooler in a way as well.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I think whilst it's really difficult nowadays to be an artist, it does give you a lot of creative license and complete like autonomy over what your sonic and visual identity is, because I think years and years ago it just used to be a case of you could sing or you had a certain look, and then artist development from a label would pick you up and sign you and then carve you into what they want you to be or what they think you should be. Whereas now artist development doesn't really exist, so you're doing it for yourself. So you can really sort of like be quite introspective and look internally and think, what kind of artist do I want to be from the get-go? And you can get that running, which it has its upsides, but then also I guess the downside is, yeah, you have to be the stylist, you have to be like the producer and the manager, all of these things independently that you have to sort of control. It can be quite overwhelming sometimes, but it's also really fun.
What's your favourite part of it all?
So I don't actually get to do this as much as I would like to. My favourite part is actually just the songwriting. But unfortunately, the time I would like to use to songwrite, I am trying to, come up with content ideas for TikTok. Yeah, I think that's the part I enjoy the most. I also love thrifting, to be honest, like going out and finding outfits that I love and think like build into my brand. So yeah, I'd say those are my two favourites.
But you picked like really cool outfits as well. There's that one black dress with the bows as well. Like, where do you find? Is it thrifted, or is there any specific places that you do find it? Because I feel like that is your kind of look in a way.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so it really is a mixture. I think that one I think I got from like Vinted or something. I love Vinted so much because you can find some gems on there that have been pre-loved, and also there's like the environmental advantage as well, not like buying something new. So a lot of it is just thrifting. A lot of it is like going into just like vintage stores and trying loads of things on. I could spend hours and hours in vintage stores, and it's not good for my bank account, but it's good for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to show your image more, isn't it? Because also I feel like sometimes when you have a unique look or a unique piece, it's another conversation piece that people might be like, oh, that's really cool, I'm going to listen to that.
Yeah.
On the album,
exactly.
Right?
And you find like a lot of people say, a lot of industry professionals will say, once you have your visual identity, then people will align with you first, because as you say, people are drawn to what they see first and then they'll listen. I'm trying to think of like a really good example. Maybe like Charlie XCX, because she has a sort of like grungy aesthetic. Last year it was like Brat, bright green, dark hair, whatever, and then you can tell who the Charlie XCX fans are based by like how they dress, or if they're going to her concerts, what their hair looks like, or like, are they wearing bright green? They're obviously Charlie XCX fans. I think that's quite cool as well. Like you can tell which fan base belongs to whom based on their appearance as well.
No, I think it's really cool. I live quite close to Greenwich and the O2, or I live in Greenwich and live close to the O2, and it's always fun because obviously there's concerts every so often. It's fun guessing who's playing based on how people are dressed. But it's a really fun game. So for example, when Sabrina Carpenter was playing, everyone was wearing the most tiniest little skirts, and the bows just everywhere, everywhere. So it's fun to kind of guess, and it's like you said, it's that identity. It's so identifiable and it's so marketable as well, which I hate that as artists you have to think about these things, but it's so important because it makes you stand out and be identifiable, right? Yeah,
100%.
What would you want to create your vision to be? Like what would you want your fans to dress like when they come to your concerts and stuff?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think very 90s, very noughties, sparkles, like the headbands. I'm talking like the headscarves or the sort of like crochet like sort of hats that kind of sit on your head, like very elegant. Love like sort of low rise boot cut jeans. Yeah, I think that would be it for me. Like maybe hooped earrings for the girls, but just very like, I want it to be quite like a nostalgic experience. You feel like you're going, it's back in like 2006, you're going to watch Destiny's Child, kind of thing, but obviously in 2026.
I feel like a lot of noughties is coming back as well, and just making it, like you said, your own as well. is, yeah, I mean, now I know what to wear to your concert. So.
Obviously, everyone should wear whatever they want.
But it's nice when you get to like go and like, you know, when you go to ABBA Voyage, people wear sparkles and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so it's just cool. It becomes part of the fun of going, right? And it becomes an experience rather than just like stumbling into something.
Yeah.
You mentioned songwriting, so I want to go more deep into your process. When you're writing, do your songs usually come from a specific experience or more from a feeling that you have?
Yeah, so someone asked me this the other day actually. I would say it's a mixture. So I can be going through something in my life and it can just start from me jotting down the way I'm feeling, and then that might convert into a song. And I would say by and large that is usually the way that it happens, for sure. And songwriting I like to treat it as a form of therapy, because it is me just sort of getting all of my emotions out onto a page, and then if those emotions convert into something that I feel I can write about, then that's brilliant. But even if not, then I've just sort of had like a moment of relief and like lifted the weight off of my shoulders of the way that I was feeling. And when I am songwriting, I also want people to sort of treat it like therapy, even if it's just sonically, that they feel really relaxed listening to it, they feel really calm, that's perfect. Or if they're like, oh, I've been through this experience as well, and this really like aligns with what I'm going through, then that is even better.
It's also kind of very, like you said, relatable, right? You want to make people relate to your music in a way. Obviously, each experience is different, but I think when it comes to love, like you said earlier, so many people actually go through very similar experiences and emotions.
Yeah.
That then it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, someone actually gets me.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're singing the lyrics at the top of your lungs, you're like, I can like shout this because I'm feeling it so much right now, and it's so cathartic, and you know, you can just sort of, yeah, it's basically free therapy. It's what I would love my music to become. So I've got a bank of music coming up that I'm hoping people will align with as well.
I'm very excited to hear those. Is there a song that you've written that you particularly felt like exposing, like personally, or difficult to share with the wider audience?
I think I'd say Grateful is the one that maybe touches a chord the most. I'd say in this upcoming work that I have, it does get a bit more personal. But Grateful is one of those songs where it's like rewiring your brain to appreciate all of those things that happened, where at the time you literally were going to spiral, like you thought it was the worst thing ever, but just like rethinking it as, actually I've learned so much from the situation, and therefore I'm grateful that it happened, because I'm not going to try and make the same mistake twice. And that is like in the sense of like relationships, life choices, friendships, all of that kind of stuff. So that was the one where I think I was the most vulnerable in it, and I wrote it with my producer, who was also going through a dodgy situationship at the time, so we were able to draw on like those negative experiences together and be vulnerable with each other, which was really, really nice.
Definitely. And in terms of a song that was very easy to share, how was that?
Yeah, a song that's easy to share, I would say maybe like Sunday Morning is like a really lovely song, I think, for when you're in that honeymoon phase with your partner and you can just sort of like, yeah, just enjoy their company, enjoy their space. Like that song to me is really uplifting, and everyone loves love. Like there'll be moments when you hate love, but ultimately being in love and seeing people in love is a really, really wonderful thing. And I would say Sunday Morning kind of like epitomizes that, because it's just like you're so in love with someone that you just want them to like, you just want to completely be immersed in it, and things like that. And that's like such an easy one to share, I think, because yeah, everyone loves love.
It's so true though, because I feel like, it's good to get songs that are very uplifting, because I think sometimes it puts you in a very good mood.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you need to be able to like feel it and be in your depressed
Yes, exactly.
Lana Del Rey vibe.
Literally.
But it's nice to see. I mean, you said you were influenced by like Mariah Carey and Alicia Keys. Are you influenced by the way they also write, or was it mostly how they sing as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think so. With Mariah Carey, I love her melodic lines when she writes her songs. I think her melodies are amazing and really complex, and also they pair with the lyrics that she's writing. So as I said, it's like using the melody to emote what is being said. There's a song that she wrote, Fly Like a Bird, where you literally feel like you're in the sky floating with this bird, which is like really beautiful, and I think it's a quality that's really hard to have. So that's what really inspired me about Mariah. And then with Alicia Keys, I really love her like lyrical content, and I think what's really nice about Alicia is that the body of work that I started listening to her from really was her songs in A major or A minor or something, and all of the songs she just wrote on the piano herself. So I think there's like that organic element to it as well, and the songs are just so real and like authentic. Like she literally has written a song about having a crush on a guy in a coffee shop, and you're like, oh, that's fun and that's flirty, and just the content of the songs is like very sort of everyday, real lived experiences, which I think is quite nice, and again adds to that idea of relatability.
And it's like drawing, like elongating small moments, I think.
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
It's like you said, like with your Sunday morning one. Sunday morning's like a cute little time of the week, but everyone experiences, and it's a nice experience to relate to and play whenever you want to feel a bit like, I need to relax a bit, because Sunday mornings are a bit like that.
Yeah.
Do you ever hold things back in your writing, or do you stay completely honest with the lyrics that you do have, or is there sometimes bits that you think, oh, I don't know if I'm going to share that?
I think as I've evolved as an artist, I felt comfortable being more honest and bearing more things about my life. I think I'm always conscious that I don't want my music to sound like a pity party. So I'm always like, when I'm writing things, I'm always like, oh, maybe that's a bit too sad. But I think eventually I'll get to a point where I'm like, this is just what I'm feeling, and this is how, and you're going to hear it, basically. There's a song that I'm writing at the moment, and it's very personal, and it basically started off as a letter to a family member, and I'm excited to share it because I think, again, it'll be something that people will be able to relate to, and it's definitely my most sort of honest and vulnerable song yet, but I'm just still like in the process of getting it demoed at the moment.
It's so exciting to hear, like, like it flourishing and evolving as well, because I don't know about you, but I feel like the more personal something is, I don't know, I think it's nice because it feels like someone's opening up their life and their experiences that, again, more people can relate to and use, because as much as we want to say that we're all unique, we do as humans share a lot of the same experiences, whether it is heartbreak or obviously they're all different, but they are genuinely together and the same feelings can come through. But having a nice fun song is also very good to have in a moment as well. But for me personally, I think like the more emotion and truth and honesty you hear in something, it just, I don't know, it just hits like a wow type thing, that it feels like you're connecting with the artist in a way.
Yes, exactly, and that is really important as well, having that artist connection and breaking that barrier of seeing them as this like figure that you know nothing about. It's like opening that door and like letting people in and understanding you, the artist, a little bit more, which is really important.
And you, obviously, you got a British Caribbean background as well. Is there any way that you incorporate your Caribbean background in your music as well? Was it something that you celebrate in a different way?
Do you know what? It's really funny that you asked that. I would say in my music, I actually haven't so far. But funnily enough, I had a session the other day, and the song that we kind of came out with had a little bit of like a reggae element to it, which obviously is like the music that originated in the Caribbean. So yeah, it's just really funny that you said that, because we literally just wrote a song last week. But I would say my Caribbean heritage is very important to me, but it hasn't funneled into my music per se, just because I think the music that I listened to and the artists that I was inspired by were sort of like your Mariah Careys and your Alicia Keys people, and I really appreciate reggae artists as well. It's just that I never felt like, aligned with that form of like writing and music for myself, but I love listening to it so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all personal, isn't it? And how you're probably similar to me in the sense of like being British and something else. So in a way, it's hard to have a balance between the two and also appeal to two types of audiences in a way.
Yeah, exactly. It's it is really interesting, the experience, I think, of being like a first or second generation immigrant, because a lot of my experiences have just been British, because my mum's British as well. It's actually my grandma who immigrated over. So I wouldn't say it was like diluted out, but I guess we've lost like connections with our roots like over time, which is a really sad thing. And I guess like even the music that my grandma listens to, she doesn't constantly listen to Caribbean music. Like she loves Lionel Richie and like George Michael and artists like that. So even when I was home with her, we were listening to good music, but it wasn't necessarily always Caribbean music.
But I don't think it has to be, right? The beauty of music is that it's like that you get to experience those different cultures in it and things, and maybe there is a particular route that you stick with. But I think the beauty with a lot of music is that it helps through like tough times. As you said, it's a form of therapy.
Definitely. I would say that like what maybe has carried through the most is, I guess, a lot of Jamaican culture is grounded in faith and Christianity and things like that. And I did grow up in the church. I listened to a lot of gospel music, so I'd say maybe that like funneled into the artist that I am today. And I did used to sing in church for a little bit as well, and I would also listen to sort of like Christian music with my grandma, for example, and my mum, and I would say subconsciously that would have like flooded into my music, especially with harmonies. I think gospel harmonies are really unparalleled. They're absolutely gorgeous. So I would say those are the ways that it influenced my music for sure.
I think it's funny how a lot of artists started in choirs.
Yeah.
It's like, because I used to go to choir as well, and it's just funny that like it kind of opens up the window of passion for you. Like every single musician and artist that I've listened to interviews is like, I started in choir or gospel or in church or all those kind of things. And it's interesting because again, I think music connects you, whether it's faith-based or whether it's, to an emotion
Absolutely.
or to other people. So it's just interesting also knowing how to harmonize, how to work with other people, but then also standing out on yourself when you get solos or anything like that. I think it's such a beautiful way to connect as well. And I think it also gives a bit of confidence, I think, because it's quite scary singing in front of like a huge group of people when you're young as well.
I know. Yeah, it definitely helps kind of getting more comfortable on the stage. 'Cause I remember actually the first time that I performed, I think I was about 9 years old, and it was at this huge gospel convention in front of 2,000 people. We were singing in a choir. So I guess that's kind of like throwing you into the deep end when you're about 8 or 9, and I guess you just become more familiar in the stage format. That's not to say I still get nervous even today. So, but yeah, I'd say it definitely helps with like acclimatizing to being on stage and being in front of people.
And since you've released music by yourself, do you think how you see yourself also has changed? Because I mean, I know this as an actor as well, it's like you kind of have to see yourself as a product, right? We kind of spoke about it a bit earlier, but does that ever kind of disconnect from your art? And you think like more on the how am I going to have to market myself and all those kind of things? So yeah, has that changed?
Definitely. I think when you start out as an artist, you have that naivety of like, oh, I'm good, and so I'll get rewarded for just being good and like making good music. Unfortunately, today that's not the case. We very much live in an attention economy, so you have to be thinking of ways to get people's attention, and the best way to do that is through having a marketing strategy. And these are things that you don't think about when you are pursuing music. You just think, I'm going to songwrite and then it's going to be fine. But no, you have to have a marketing strategy that includes like social media marketing, in-person marketing, marketing and gigs. And as you said, reimagining yourself as a brand and as a business. And it kind of creates this sort of capitalist, like corporate feel almost, because you're trying to figure out the best way to get like customers or listeners, and the best way to make your brand make money, because at the end of the day, everyone's goal is to make a living from the work that they do. But I think it does take away from purity of like creating for creation's sake, like just making things because you want to make them and they sound nice. It always has to be like quite intentional, or how am I going to get an audience to listen to this? How am I going to get an audience to buy into the story? How am I going to translate that into social media, etc., etc. So I have found that part quite challenging, actually. But we're getting there. It's definitely a learning process. I know nothing about marketing, so it's just sort of the blind leading the blind, really. I'm just seeing what sticks and what doesn't. In a lot of the upcoming releases, I've got a few marketing tactics in place, and we'll just see which one works the best and go from there.
It's such like trial and error, isn't it? Because you never know what works until it works. It's figuring out, okay, this didn't work, so I'll try this way.
Exactly.
And it's so exhausting sometimes because, sometimes you get lucky and you can burst out and, I don't know, get a lot of views and hits from that one thing, but then you'll do the same thing and it might not work that time.
Exactly.
So it's,
what's scary as well is I think nowadays we rely so much on social media, like Instagram and TikTok, and you have your following on there. And then, if TikTok went bust tomorrow, a lot of people, like, your career would be over because you've literally founded your career on the app and rely on it for everything. And I think it just goes to show like how not artificial but like surface level everything is, and like everything is done through these two apps, which is just crazy to me.
It is, but it is so mad. But it's like how the world works now. A lot of the time, if you're not on social media as an actor or a songwriter or a musician or whatever creative thing you might be, you're not known to people.
Exactly.
And so many people also make it on social media, because I know Sienna Spyro, I love, I don't know if you've heard her songs, but she's incredible. But she blew up, she started on TikTok.
Yeah, that's remarkable, isn't it, actually?
It's I think it's scary but also amazing at the same time. Like, you can go from being a nobody, and we're all nobodies in a way, right? To people relating to your songs and celebrating you. It's just annoying that doesn't happen more. I don't know also whether there's like a stigma of like looking down at people that started on social media as well versus the other way.
Yeah, I think maybe you could, honestly, I think the thing with social media is like I don't think anyone really fully understands it or the extent of what it's done to us as like consumers, and the way that we now would look and like perceive people. I think what's really hard is being consistent and sort of always showing up and like posting, because as you said, like it could happen overnight. We could both go viral tomorrow. Touch wood. But in the meantime, like leading up to that moment, it's so hard, and I think it can literally feel like you're in the desert, just like clutching at straws, posting things, trying to get things out, taking forever to film something for it to reach like 300 people. And I think you have to be so resilient and so sort of like, remember Central C said this, you have to be really delusional in a sense and be like, this is gonna eventually work one day, like this is just the calm before the storm, you know. So I don't know, it's quite tricky, and like at the beginning when you don't have many followers and you're trying to message people and network with people and connect with them, they're immediately looking at you and saying, okay, well, you have X number of followers, come back to me when you have like 100,000. I'm like, oh,
that's the annoying thing. It's just why are people, that's the one thing I don't like, is the fact that, you know, a lot of people are not given a chance because they don't have X amount of followers, because maybe their content isn't being pushed out to as many people for I don't know what reason. So that's kind of an annoying thing, isn't it? Have you also seen AI interfering or working with the work that you do as well? I don't know how it's affected the music industry quite a lot as well.
Yeah. So I would say I haven't, you know, fortunately I haven't personally interacted with AI musically. However, I know that it is like taking over Spotify a bit and like social media. And I saw a post the other day about an AI artist who started releasing music in January, now has like hundreds of thousands of monthly listeners, loads of followers on Instagram. And I just think like this is like the perfect example of why it's so difficult for real people to do real things. I think the problem with social media is that you now have this expectation of like perfection, maybe, I don't know what it is, but like to the point where you see like this AI character as real and you want to follow them and you want to listen to them and you're keeping it with their work, but actually it's just generated by some sort of random algorithm. And I don't know, you have like hundreds of thousands of real artists who are putting time and energy and money into something, throwing anything at the wall, working on it for years and years and years, and still will not even see an ounce of the traction that this one AI artist has received. So in that sense, like, it will impact me as an artist and many other artists, because Spotify will obviously be driving listeners to those AI artists rather than the real ones. But I don't know, I guess it's just the reality that we live in right now. But I saw a post the other day, someone was saying, I hope actually that Spotify continues using AI artists because it's a shit streaming platform anyway. And maybe eventually people will be like, okay, I need to switch to another one.
I don't know, I quite like Spotify. I feel like it has a good I don't know, maybe that's my personal view. But no,
I think as a consumer, for artists, it doesn't hit very well. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, you see it as on the other side, right?
Yeah. As a consumer, it's super easy. I love it. But
what streaming platform is quite useful for musicians?
So Bandcamp is really great because you get like basically all of the money from streaming. Because I think at the moment the way that it works is Spotify takes a huge proportion of your streams. So Bandcamp is really good. And that's the one that I'm using. I think Apple Music is even slightly better than Spotify, but yeah, Spotify pay artists like 0.004 pence per stream, I think. So what? Yeah, it's really bad. So like, I think I remember my friend, he got like 3 million streams, and then after Spotify took their cut and they splitted all of the royalties between him and the featured artist, I think he made about £2,000, which is like enough for 2 months' rent from 3 million streams. It's just not good. Yeah,
no, it's not, and it's, you know, you put loads of work and effort into something for someone else to benefit for. Really.
Yeah, basically. So I think that person's point was, we actually want people to stop using Spotify anyway in the long run, because it's not good for artists.
Well, they can change their policies.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I know,
that
right?
would be great.
Because I feel like people won't stop using it because it's so easy, as you said, to use, and it's quite nice because it does its yearly roundups, and it's quite fun and exciting to look at them, isn't it? But
yeah, it's got a lot of features that would keep people invested in them and keep them using the app. So they do what they do well, for sure.
Yeah. Being an independent artist, also, as you mentioned, there was the Spotify thing is one thing, but do you think there's anything that people misunderstand about being an independent artist today?
I would say for someone who maybe isn't an artist or hasn't tried to pursue artistry, people will just think, oh, you're just gonna like put out a few songs, catch a big break, and then become famous. And I think if it takes longer than a year, I think people start to think, maybe you should go and get a day job because it's not going to work out. That's the biggest, I think, misinterpretation of it, because actually, and I think maybe you'll align with this, like when you're an artist, it takes years and years and years, and finally you'll get that moment where something like clicks into place. And also there are so many different levels of success to independent artistry as well. Like you could get something really amazing. If, for example, you could land a BBC Live Lounge, which I think is really a really cool thing. But again, like, okay, what I will say, I'm going to summarize it in the sense of, I think people will assume you've made it as an independent artist once you're a household name. If you're not a household name, then you're sort of like a nobody. So when I ask someone, oh, have you heard of this artist? Have you heard of this artist? No. Therefore, that means that they're not very good or they're not big enough. Whereas I would say in reality, there are lots of different levels of success in independent artistry and just in art in general. And I'd say every rung up the ladder is a huge success. And I'd say the biggest misunderstanding is that you're not successful until you reach the top of that ladder. But actually, I would say every rung is a huge achievement and you should be proud of yourself for it.
Well, definitely, because it takes, as you said, years. Like for actors, it takes, unless you're lucky, it takes 10 years at least, right? Because, and it's a mix of talent, luck, and marketing, and all of those kind of things that you get, right? And determination and passion and drive. Like if you lose your drive, then there's no point going forward. And I feel like it's the same with music as well. But I think it's also whenever you see like the big names, the household names, as you said, people think they've come out of nowhere, that they suddenly like hit a thing, when really if you look at their like history of how long they've been working, they started years before and have slowly built up to where they are, and they've had a big break because of, I don't know, luck, talent, and all these kind of things meshed together. So.
Exactly, that's the biggest misunderstanding, because people are like, oh my god, Sabrina Carpenter popped out of nowhere, or like Olivia Dean popped out of nowhere, and it's like, no, Olivia Dean's been working since she was 16, she's now 26 and is finally getting her dues. And then the same thing with Sabrina Carpenter, she was on a Disney show when she was like 12, and now she's like this huge artist, but that's over 10 years I think of work. Chappell Roan, same thing. Ray, it's the same thing. People are like, they came out of nowhere, and it's like, no, they didn't.
I know, and it makes me kind of annoyed because I'm like, I should have started earlier.
I know, I'm literally, what was I doing when I was 12?
Literally, but we're on the right. I think we're quite lucky because we're still quite young, so we have more time in a sense. I mean, I don't think it matters what age you start, because you can be an artist, you can do anything at any age. And actually, acting wise, I sometimes think it's easier to do it when you're older, because there's less actors that are older, for example. So it's easier to break in, whilst when you're in your early 20s, everyone wants to be a singer, actor, whatever, right? So it's harder to filter out. It's just, wherever you are in your life, it's still, there's always some challenges that come along with that. I've got some more kind of music and meaning and audience type questions. So what do you want people to feel when they listen to your music?
Yeah, so I want them to feel calm, relaxed. I want them to feel like they've walked away with some sort of value. whether that is using it as therapy or using it as a way to, I guess, navigate a personal situation or anything like that. I just want them to feel like they've left with something and they want to come back for more, is how I would summarize that.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful kind of way to put it, as like you said, with, just feeling like you can go on with your day and have an uplifting moment.
Yeah.
Because, everyone has shit days and it can help you uplift yourself, right?
Exactly.
Also, just celebrating the moment that you have, like, because I don't think nowadays we do get a lot of moments that, especially with the world, everything happening in the world, it's like, okay, let's take a little break.
Yes, exactly. Literally a form of escapism. You're like, I'm tapping out of life for 10 minutes. I'm just going to tune into some music and then I'm going to play tasks.
Literally. And then just last question, if someone discovered your music today, hopefully there'll be a lot of people from listening to this today, what would you want them to understand about you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd want them to understand that I am like a raw, authentic artist, just an everyday girl with a lot of talent and a dream. And I want them to think of me as an artist that they want to consume more of, and recommend to their friends.
Always. I'm gonna put a link to your music on the info. What's it called? The description box. There we go. So any people can look down as well. But yeah, thanks so much. That's everything. It's been so. It's always great listening and talking to people that are also other artists and kind of see the parallels in the journeys that everyone has, but also the unique experiences and things that make you personally a great artist as well.
Yeah, thank you. It's really nice to actually talk about it. I think I don't talk about it a lot with people, so it's nice to just sort of deep dive into those questions that you were saying.